Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everybody has had a fabulous weekend. We're coming on for a couple things. First, we're going to play Mia's tag, Never, Never Have I Ever. And I have some lovely helpers with me today. First of all, Mia, once again, fabulous, fabulous game. You come up with the best tags, my dear. All right, here we go. Number 1. Never, never have I ever kept the same outfit on a reborn for more than 2 weeks. Well, we're going to go to Malachi for that one. Yes, she has. As y'all know, he is currently not in that outfit, but Malachi has. It's just the Malachi outfit. And my niece is coming for Thanksgiving, and as I told you, she's a rugby player, and he's wearing this Ireland rugby outfit that dear Mary sent us from Ireland, which was so sweet of her, and I can't wait for my niece to see it. But then he'll probably go back into his outfit. And I've done it with other babies. I just get, Genevieve for the longest time had an outfit on that went with that butterfly hat from Judy. Oh, that hat still brings me so much joy. Anyway, so yes, if I absolutely love an outfit on the baby, I will leave it on them. Plus, I just... at the end of the day, they're still works of art, and I don't like changing them very much because I don't want to, in any way damage them. Number 2, spend over $100 on baby clothes in one haul. Let's see who's going to be my helper on that one. I think it's going to be Vijagne. Yes, she most certainly has. But there's a caveat to that, ladies. I have not done that for just my babies. I shop typically at the same time for babies that I adopt out. And many of the things I order are from the UK. And a lot of times if you spend over $100, you get free shipping and other kind of discounts. So typically if I need to order some sleepers, or if I fall in love, let's say, with a beautiful dress, that costs like $48, I'll try to find something to get it up so I can get the free shipping, and then I have it in my closet that I later shop in. So yes, I have, ladies. Number 3, fast forwarded through a box opening video to get to the big reveal. Let's see who that's going to be. Charlamagne. Kind of, sort of, maybe she will explain. So all of my regular ladies, I watch your box openings from beginning to end. As I've mentioned before, usually a couple times a month, I'll just go into the search on YouTube and type in reborn box opening. And then you can narrow it down, and depending if it's been a month or 2 weeks or whatever, I narrow it down so that those come to the top. And sometimes if it's a new reborn mommy who's not used to making videos and she's not really talking or anything, I will fast forward. Because as I've told y'all, I'm really about the content and the dialogue. I do love seeing the babies. I love, love, love how beautiful the babies are and seeing you change them and all that. But I really love the conversation. So if somebody's not really talking, I do fast forward. Okay, number 4, fibbed to a friend or family member about how much one of my reborns cost. Dun, 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 dun. That would be Genevieve. No, she has not. It's not really ever come up. Nobody really asks me what I paid for them, or, I've explained the costs involved in making them to some of my family members, but nobody's really asked me what. Genevieve, well, I have purchased 3. But Genevieve's the only one I still have, but no. Number 5, last but not least, tried to pass a reborn off as a real baby. We're going to go down to sweet sleeping Zipporah. No, she is not. Wait, we're not real? People think we are, though. So yes, I do take my babies when I finish creating them to the post office to be weighed. And I'll never forget, the very first one I took was actually Asriel. And I actually had his box fully packed with all the items in it. Actually took the whole box to get a shipping quote. But of course I couldn't wrap him up yet, so he was just laying in there. And I had the box folded at the top. But when I put it up on the counter, she asked me what was in here, and I said, "You'll never believe it." And I opened the box, and she's like, "You can't send a baby in the mail." It was so funny. At my post office, when I walk in, they call me to the counter by my name. They know me there very well. Even if I take in kind of a small box that like wouldn't even fit a crochet item, they're like, is there a baby in here? They're so funny. They love my babies. They always want to see works in progress. They have so much fun stalling me. Like, they keep talking to me and stuff so that as new customers come in, they can show off the babies and say, you won't believe this is a doll. It really is a lot of fun. And I don't really take them out other than that. I did, obviously to the doll show, but everybody knows there. So, no, I don't try to purposely fool people that they're real babies. So that was Mia's fun little game. And Mia, look, it's like just over 5 minutes. But I am going to carry on and chatter away because y'all know I do that. I'm going to collect my little signs. First, I'm going to show you all my works in progress. I am working today. I have not done anything to Serenity today. She's still set up from when I took her photo the other day. So as y'all can see, she's getting some nice coloring. She's coming along very nicely. She's such a lovely kit. And I'll tell y'all, this hand, oh, I love this hand. But she's very sweet. And Raleigh, I can show you kind of. I just put a layer on her, so she's a bit shiny looking. She looks kind of wet. At this stage, I use my mineral spirits that actually have a longer flash time. So she's sitting there drying for me. So that's what I'm doing on in terms of work. And who else? Oh, you haven't seen Happy and Happier over here. Happy woke up and rolled over, and she's just having a hoot here. She got her leg up on her sister. So I remember the twins I used to nanny for when I used to lay them in a crib, not for like nap time or anything, just to like put them in there and watch them play together. It was always so funny. And they used to do stuff like this. I tell you what, ladies, twins are so special. Multiples to me are amazing. And then we have this tiny little one here. So sweet. Oh, and I have to also show you all my Pixie Girl. Her outfit came in the other day. I'm just waiting for her shoes. And they were shipped last week as well, but they're coming from the UK. There's my sweet Pixie Girl. I don't know if y'all know Matilda Jane. I love Matilda Jane. And I found this lady who made small Matilda Jane clothes. So she custom made this for her. I did braid her hair because with this headband, when her hair was down, you couldn't see her little ear tips. But I'm excited to do her photo shoot, hopefully sometime this week. And then that will be up so y'all can see. I'm really leaning more towards selling her. I don't know, ladies, I'm torn, but I'll decide soon. I got to have her shoes here and then I'll know. Not that the shoes will make the decision for me, but we'll see. So there she is with her little mouse friend, looking so cozy in her bed of moss. And I don't know if you know Matilda Jane. It's sold kind of like Tupperware. They have these ladies, they're called trunk keepers, and you have a party at your house and they bring sometimes some of last season's clothes and you can kind of buy them off the rack, but then, or even some of the current seasons too. You can buy off the rack what they have, but then you place an order much like you would Tupperware. It's so fun. I used to love going to Matilda Jane shows. Anyway, so there she is, looking oh so sweet. I'll get a kind of a close-up of those eyebrows. I love her eyebrows. So there she is. And then I wanted to also briefly talk about, I've seen a few different videos discussing the economics of reborns, and it's been, discussed in a couple different ways about the blank kit being worth more in terms of resale than a finished baby, stuff like that. Katie and I were talking about this. I told her it was too long to write it out, so she told me to make a video. So I've been pondering, Katie, as y'all know I do. Because we all have different mindsets about different things, and everybody's opinion works for themselves, and we're not looking for negativity and whatever. So I'm just going to tell you a couple of my thoughts on it, and take it or leave it. It doesn't really bother me. I'm just sharing what I see. Because, as I've said, I'm a very observant person. As an artist and as a collector, because they're two different categories for me, I am constantly studying this craft, whether I am watching tutorials or reading tutorials or watching the ebb and flow of eBay in terms of new babies posted or reset babies being resold and the value and the kits, how they're being sold and all that stuff. I spend many, many hours a week researching that. Y'all have no idea. And to me, you know, basically, to me, a definition of an artist is somebody who, you know, never, you never really get there. You're always improving. And so I am constantly studying this from a business perspective, from an artistic perspective, from a collector's perspective. And so having said that, first I want to discuss, because I think there was some talk about a prototype kit. Oh, the kit was painted by a prototype artist. There is a difference between an actual prototype baby and a kit painted by a prototype artist. Y'all know we love our little COAs. And back when I collected porcelain dolls, those were very important. And the actual porcelain doll on their neck would typically have either the signature of the artist or the name of the sculpt, but it also had the number and the edition number. So let's say there were 10 in the edition and you had number 2. It would have a 2 and a slash and a 10. So they, you know, it was known you had number 2 out of 10. I don't know if they did that in the event you lost the COA. I'm not sure, but they did used to mark their necks. The reborns aren't marked that way. And I don't know if it's a time thing. I don't know if it costs more to, obviously they would have to change the die for every baby when they, you know, when they're stamping. Because some of my kits do have names on them. Like some will say Trueborn. But they all say that. So obviously they're just, you know, head after head after head after head is the same. If they were imprinting a number out of an edition, they would have to change that for each one. So I guess it would be quite costly to do so. But when an artist is sent a prototype kit to paint, that comes with a prototype card. The COA says prototype 1 of 4 or whatever the edition is. So that is valued above a regular kit. Even though it might be painted by a prototype artist, it's not the same as having the prototype. I hope that made sense. And one of the things I would like to talk about, and I'm purely talking right now as a collector, because I think that perspective is what works for this for me, for my mind. See, I'm pondering still in my head as I talk. I'm going to show you this little box. I know it doesn't look like much. It's kind of a dirty little dingy box, but stick with me because y'all know I'm somebody who learns and teaches with stories. And when I was a preschool teacher I taught 2- and 3-year-olds, and one thing I loved to do with them at circle time in the morning, if I had something on that had a pocket in it, I would utilize the pocket, but if I didn't, I had an apron that had a pocket, so I'd put my apron on. I would put something in my pocket, and then at morning circle time, I would reach in my pocket and be all like, oh, what do I have in my pocket today? And if any of you work with children, they really pay attention when you whisper. And I would describe it. So, for example, one time I put the spring from a pen. You know, the pens that you have to click at the back. I took the spring out and I, said, the thing in my pocket's about that big, but I can also make it that big. And that's all I said. And they kind of like guess and talk about it. And then as the day goes on, I would say more hints. And on that particular day, I tried using that pen and knew it wouldn't work. And then I would call children over and say, my pen's not working. Can you make it work? And they'd try. And sometimes it'd make a couple little marks, but inevitably the ink portion popped back in. And they would go, oh, what happened? Anyway, so I would always do my reveal in the afternoon. Afternoon circle time, after nap and snack, I would, pull it out. And you would not believe, I could make anything fabulous. It was because the value I placed on that item. And so while this box doesn't look like much, you couldn't give me any amount of money for the contents of this box. When I was about 9 or 10, my grandparents gave me a jewelry box. Now, I have more cousins than I can count, and that's not a lie. And I don't even know how many cousins I have. And most of them are boys. There are very few girls. And for whatever reason, my grandparents would buy each grandchild one gift for Christmas. And for a couple of years, my grandma was on this Jean Naté kick. I was so young, I don't know what the heck is Jean Naté for, Anyway, when I was 9 or 10, she kind of changed it up, and she gave me a jewelry box. Now, I don't remember if my other girl cousins got jewelry box or not, but mine was like this pink quilted thing, and it locked. I was so excited. But in there was this box. And inside of this box is this little doll. And she's actually a pin. She has a little crocheted dress on that's pink and blue and kind of cream, and she got a little bonnet, but then she's a pin. She even has like a diaper cover. And I've had her now for over 30 years. And, the value to her is probably not much to you, but to me, she's invaluable. And so I'm saying that because I think part of why the resale of the reborns is what it has become, because in years gone by, they did not devalue as they are now. And there are a variety of reasons, but the one I'm going to discuss is the value we place upon them. I've resold 2 of my reborns. One of them I chose to sell for less than I paid because I'd had her for quite some time. And the other one I sold exactly what I paid for her. Did I sell her the day I made her available? No. Did I sell her the week I made her available? No. It took a while. And I think that's part of the problem. I think many times collectors keep shopping. And by nature, to me, a collection grows. So I don't see any problem with people looking on eBay and Etsy or at different websites of artists that you like, at the work they have available or upcoming work and stuff. I think that's fabulous. And as you can see, my collection grows. And I know some people have a limit for themselves. They're much more interactive with their babies than I am, and you've got spatial limits, or you may feel overwhelmed by a larger collection. I can't tell you how many porcelain dolls I used to have. I had a lot. So for me, it's not about I got to reach a certain number and stop. And I understand some people have that, and that's, everybody has to know their limits and stick to them. But I can only speak for myself. So for me, I don't have a limit I don't have a number. Once I reach it, I have to stop kind of thing. But I think many people keep shopping, and then all of a sudden you find this reborn you want to have, or you see a new kit that's coming out and you think, oh, if I could get that kit and my artist paint it. So there's this urgency to sell. So let's say, we'll just say 800 because 8's my favorite number. Let's say you paid $800 for a reborn, and you've had this reborn for a couple months, and you see either another version of that same baby or a new baby you want, or there's this dream kit you've wanted and suddenly there's one available and you want to sell. So you post this baby for $800, maybe on eBay, Instagram, whatever. And then again, as I said, I watch. Sometimes it's even the same day. People will lower the price, $50, $100. A few days later, they lower it again. So, in my opinion, quite a bit of the devaluing comes from us as the collectors. I think it's about patience. I think if you feel that, you know what, this is not a baby I'm going to keep forever, but you don't have a baby in mind, that's probably the better time to sell. Even though you might have an empty space in your nursery, you might only be a one baby person and don't want to have no babies, but sometimes, letting go of something opens up the space for the other. So I think as collectors, part of the devaluing comes from that urgency to sell right away and constantly lowering. And I'm not saying, to me, if I set a price, I want to stick with it. Yes, I've done specials on some of my reborns that I've created as an artist. But I don't really do that anymore because, as you know, I am growing as an artist and feel that, you know what, I'm going to set my price point. It's why I like offering layaway, because I then get what I charge, which is, as I've told y'all before, is 3 times my supplies plus shipping. And if any of you have been my customer, if shipping has worked out less than what less than what I quoted you, I refund the shipping. I'm not trying to make money on shipping. I mean, it's even sometimes been change, but I just feel, you know, and anyway, that's just me. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, in that scenario, I then get the price point I feel comfortable selling my work at, and the customer gets the opportunity to have a baby that they want and not have that urgency. But I also realize some people are not patient and want the baby immediately. And so layaway doesn't always work for everybody. But again, I can only speak for myself. So again, I think part of the devaluing comes from us. Now, why is a blank kit worth more than a finished baby? I think it's because there's nothing been done to that kit. There's the potential for it to be a custom, to be the baby that you want. I'm not 100% sure. It's something I've been actually thinking about. As y'all know, I have a kit stash. I have paid more than the original cost of a kit for my 2 Heavenlies, for example. But to me, because I was doing the work, it was less than I would have paid for a finished baby to acquire the kit for that price. But for, again, speaking as a collector, again, as Suzanne said, I think, was it your brother-in-law, Suzanne, who said about the picture that cost £1 and he was willing to pay £50 for something she could run to the shop and grab another one for £1 for. It's what somebody's willing to pay. So if a limited edition kit comes out and there are 1,000 of them and they sell out right away, and then you might get on the train a little bit late, you know, didn't realize that kit was even available, existed, whatever, and see it a month or 2 later, and they're all sold out, and you can't find an artist who has one, so you go shopping for a blank kit, and they're suddenly, you know, $120 kit is now $300, $400, $450. As long as you're willing to pay that, it's going to sell for that. And I'm guilty of it. As I said, I purchased my 2 Heavenlies for quite a bit over market. And I don't know what the solution to that is. I don't know if the solution is, you know, if you can get everybody to agree not to buy them. I really don't know what the solution is. But it's supply and demand. If somebody wants something bad enough and is willing to pay for it, then they will. And so you have to make the decision of your comfort zone. What are you willing to pay? Because, ladies, let me tell you, things eventually come back around. There are kits on eBay now that I saw 6-8 months ago selling for $300 and $400 that people are selling for less than what they originally paid for them. So again, part of this hobby I've noticed as my casual observer self is there's quite a bit of impatience. And if we can just relax in our hobby and enjoy what we have and look for you know, the kits we love, as we all do. I'm as guilty as y'all are. I'm constantly looking for kits and different, you know, different babies to create, and I'm not opposed to ever purchasing a baby created by somebody else. I'm just not looking. I do look at them, and maybe one day I will. There have been a few that I thought, should I? But anyway, but that's kind of my few cents on this whole thing. So if you're trying to sell a baby, I think you need to set your price point, determine if your baby has gone down in value since you acquired it. Because if you're somebody who changes your baby a lot, puts product in their hair, washes the vinyl, all that stuff, it is not what was sent to you, which is also part of why the argument, you know, we say that they're works of art, but they're works of art that are played with. And so, well, not everybody, but some ladies, you know, play with them more and change them and you know, do different things to them. You know, I mean, I braided Bijanier's hair. She did not have hair loss, but, you know, it kind of probably pulled inside, so maybe made it a little weaker. I don't know. But even like these babies, this is Thumbelina on the left and Thumbelina's sister on the right. Thumbelina's sister is mine from my childhood, and Thumbelina was a gift to me from Judy. And I'm sure if I went on eBay and found them brand new in the box, they'd probably be worth more financially. But to me, my Thumbelina's sister is more valuable to me because of all the joy I had playing with her. I don't know if you can place a monetary value on that. I mean, I had a friend growing up who wasn't allowed to play with her dolls. She would get a new doll. You know, they used to come with that little clear plastic ring around the hair, and her mom made her leave those on. They would sit on her bed, and every night she'd have to take them off her bed to sleep, and in the morning make her bed and put them. That would have been torture to me. So I guess it's all in how you look at value. Like this little thing was my grandmother's, and now it's mine. I mean, I can't place a monetary value on that. So I suppose if you're reselling a baby, you have to be honest and look at what would you be willing to pay for that baby. And then you set your price and you stick to it. Because I guarantee you, if you put a baby on eBay for $800, my number again, if you put a baby on eBay for $800 and every few days, you know, you get a few more watchers. Let's say by the end of 5 days you have, 26 watchers and it's moved up. Let's say you had 3 watchers, then 10 whatever. Every time you change that price, all those people see you're changing the price. So they're just sitting there thinking, well, she's going to keep lower and I'm just going to wait. And so I think it's kind of a set your price point, be comfortable with it, be realistic with it, and then be patient. I had a thought, ladies, and the train has left the station. Anyway, but yeah, I think, if I can offer any advice, it would be that. It would be to set your price and stick with it and be confident. Oh, that's what I was going to say. A lot of listings I see for second, sometimes third and fourth hand reborns, it will say in the listing, baby comes home with one outfit of my choice, one blanket, pacifier, and a bottle, and a diaper. Nothing wrong with that. Not every baby has to come home full box opening style. I am of the belief a brand new baby does need to come home in fabulous box opening style. But if you're trying to resell a baby for what you paid or near what you paid, it really should go home in the same fashion it came to you. Doesn't necessarily have to be the exact same items, though, people differ on that belief. But I do think if you're trying to resell a baby for near or at what you paid, it should go home, in the same fashion it came to you, or better. I'm somebody who, I make the bed in the hotel, ladies. I mean, I'm somebody who believes you should leave somewhere better than you came. So I know I think differently than most people. Anyway, but that's my, we'll say maybe 10 cents worth there, ladies, because I've kind of rambled on a bit. But I do hope everyone's well. My body is trying to fight off this sinus infection. I was on an antibiotic for 10 days and had much relief after probably 4 or 5 days it took them to kick in. And then about 5 or 6 days after I was off of them, my body has been since. So I'm doing the natural stuff again. I'm not a fan of antibiotics, so I'm doing my homeopathic tablets and essential oils and stuff, and I actually am feeling a bit better today than I was the last 2 days. We had our anniversary this past week. November's a great month, ladies. I hope everybody's getting ready for Thanksgiving. I know some people are getting ready for Christmas. I love Christmas, ladies. So thank you for sticking with me if you watched this till the end, and I am going to get busy back to painting. I see Raleigh has flashed off. So I'm going to get back to work, ladies. So have a very, very blessed rest of your weekend. It's Sunday evening. I don't know. We have sun still right now, but I think it's going on at 5:30 or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, ladies, be blessed. Hugs and love from all of us, and enjoy your week. Bye-bye.